Greenhouse gas emissions from the maritime industries are likely to dominate debate here in Brussels in 2012. The harsh reality is that the International Maritime Organization community failed to meet the European Union's deadline of the end of 2011. For many European Commission officials, the IMO is incapable of coming up with so-called market-based mechanisms for reducing emissions from sea-going vessels. The ball is very much, therefore, in the European Commission court, and 2012 is likely to be the year that a legislative proposal finally sees the light of day. Whatever its contents, it is sure to be opposed by an industry that is wedded to the principle of international rather than regional legislation. Opposition could also arise here in Brussels. The attitude taken by Estonian Transport Commissioner Siim Kallas and his team will be crucial. Mr. Kallas is likely to fight the proposal before it becomes public. But how far will he take his opposition? And what will the attitude of the other key institutions, the European Parliament and the European Council, be? When a proposal does finally arrive in the public domain, a very technical debate will ensue. The European Commission's Directorate General for Climate Action, headed by Danish Commissioner Connie Hedegaard, will have to ensure that the proposal both reduces maritime emissions and does not lead to flagging out by European owners or even the rerouting of cargo via places such as Russia or countries in North Africa. It will be a very fine balancing act, and it has been made all the more difficult by the fact that shipowners did not, in general, participate in the European Commission consultation phase, which took place in 2011. When the proposal is published, it will of course pass on to the European Parliament and European Council, where national governments are represented. In the Parliament, the chances of the shipowner position being taken into account are probably pretty slim, given that the Parliament has called for such legislation on several occasions and is in general in favour of green legislation. In the European Council, on the other hand, the industry position is likely to be given more attention. Countries such as Greece, Cyprus and Malta depend very heavily on maritime revenues and are very close to the maritime industries. They are more than willing to fly the flag for the shipowners, judging by past experience. These three countries are, however, not enough to block any proposal under the European Union's qualified majority voting rules. The trio will therefore have to search for allies elsewhere in the European Council. Where will they find these allies? It's difficult to say at the moment. There are, as you can see, many variables. A proposal, once it is launched, can be both strengthened and weakened, or even killed off as it makes its way through the legislative pipeline. In 2012, the maritime emissions greenhouse gas battle will begin. This is just one of the stories we're looking at on the Maritime Watch. Why not check out the free content below this video?